Hello friends, welcome to our channel The Biowala. Here is today's video about introduction to algae. Means in this video we gonna talk about the basic look of the basic meaning, the basic characteristics, differentiation or things of algae biology, in which we can start from the word algae. What do you mean the word algae? Algae are simple, typically organisms which can perform photosynthesis. Means these are the organisms which can mix their food by itself in the presence of sunlight or by the help of sunlight. Further, what are the characteristics of algae? The algae are the single-celled to multicellular forms present in diversely environment. So, one single-celled algae is also can perform all the functions like other algae, and a combination of different cells which was called multicellular, in which the niche of every characters or every work is well differentiated, is be the different diverse diversification of the algae. The algae are mainly present in the aquatic region like oceans or the marine ecosystem. Algae is the major part of marine ecosystem. Next, what about the classification of algae? The algae are classified into three groups, and these three groups are the main groups or the groups which are majorly differentiated. These are not the simple three, these are mostly popular or well defined top main groups of algae, in which first is green algae group, second is brown algae group, and third red algae group. In a green algae group, which also known as chlorophyta. Why? Because the word chloro, as we know, by it denotes the chlorophyll pigment found in the algae. These algae can perform the photosynthesis and takes nutrition by sunlight. Second, brown algae, which is Phaeophyta, Phaeophyceae family, also called Phaeophyta. And third is red algae, which are present deeply in the oceans, and these are called as rhodophyta because the presence of the red pigment in that part of a algae. Further, algae are also found like diatoms, green algae, which are called blue-green algae. Blue-green algae are the major in between green algae and brown algae, which also called as cyanobacteria. Means these are the bacteria which can show their resemblance towards the algae, and technically they are bacteria but called as blue-green algae. Next, the habitat and distribution of algae. What do you mean by the habitat? Word habitat. Habitat means The area through which the algae lived, or the environment in which algae lived. Distribution is the environmental distribution of the algae or the widespread of the algae to different regions of Earth. Commonly, common habitats which are found for algae are oceans, as we know, fresh water, moist soils, and rocks. In rocks, they are present in between the rocks. Range The range of presence of the algae is the founding of algae globally in both freshwater and marine water. In all world marine ecosystem, algae be present. It's the range of algae which can present in whole world. So it is the most and great way to decide that algae have different niche and a bigger and bigger range of environment. Next, the structure and characteristics of algae. Structure means the outer resemblance or a shape of algae, but characteristics are the major properties of algae through which difference between algae can be distinguishable. Cell structure of algae varies. The cell structure of a algae varies from unicellular, example chlorella, to multicellular kelp. The cell structure of a unicellular chlorella and a multicellular kelp is somehow majorly more. And further, the photosynthetic pigments, which are also a characteristic properties of algae, that algae should present chlorophyll, where the chlorophyll in present in the chlorophyta named algae, which is also known as green algae. Carotenoids are also the pigments which are present in brown algae, and phycobilins are the pigment which is found in different groups present in different algae. Next, these are the major characteristics of algae on behalf of which we can elaborate algae. Next, what are the importance of algae? If they are present in environment and having a wide spread of niche, then they also have their economical and importance shown. Ecological role of algae. Primary producer in algae ecosystems. Oxygen production via photosynthesis. Primary producer in aquatic ecosystem are the algae, because in aquatic ecosystem, by the use of sunlight, the performance of photosynthesis can be done by the algae, and these are the primary producer of energy or food in that ecosystem. Also, because they are found in a much high amount, because of their shortened length or size, They are widely spread in a high amount and are a good source or best source of energy, or can work as a primary producer in aquatic ecosystem. Oxygen production via photosynthesis, because as we know, in the process of photosynthesis oxygen is being released, so oxygen is also produced in the ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem, by the algae. Economic importance of the algae: food source like seaweeds in Asian cuisine, industrial usage like biofuel, cosmetics and fertilizers. The algae are economically used as biofuels, cosmetics and fertilizers. Cosmetics, they are majorly used in like lipsticks and beauty products. But in food sources they are used as the seaweeds. Seaweeds which majorly eaten by the Asian, like Asian cuisine. Next, move on the next slide. How was the process of reproduction is found in the algae? So if algae have that much of widespread range of founding everywhere in the world, so it has a proper and a complex no proper and complex reproduction types. So if a algae can, next slide, reproduction in algae. If the algae is found all over the world and have a wide spread of range through every marine ecosystem of earth, so they also wanted to be a great and a simple type of reproduction. Because of it they easily can be reproduced and much more spread throughout the world. So algae has two type of majorly founded reproduction. First is sexual reproduction and second sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction the algae can be reproduced by the binary fusion, fragmentation and a spore formation. In binary fusion, like this is an structure of algae A. This can be binary fused, means cutted and divided to a two structures. These are known as binary fusion. In fragmentation, the each and every fragment of algae give rise to a whole algae is known as fragmentation. In the process of spore formation, like these algae can be produced many type of spores, and these spores later grow to form algae. So the spore formations example are like conidia, wisteria. These are the spore formation example of asexual reproduction in algae. If you wanted to know the sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction or the in algae in detail, let's comment on video I will make a detailed. If you wanted to further known about details of reproduction in algae, comment on a video, then I will make a detailed video on the reproduction of algae with label diagrams. Second, sexual reproduction. In sexual reproduction, conjugation means the conjunction, the connection of the two different parts or the two different algae sex pili, which is found like in bacteria. Also, threads like structure connected to the algae makes their sexually reproduction. Isogamy and heterogamy are present in the multicellular algae. These are the sexually two types found in algae reproduction. Further, what are the uses and applications of algae? So, there are major three uses found in the algae. First, food products. Algae is used as seaweeds and algae based supplements. Algae based supplements like spirulina, which is the most proteinous and rich used also in the space stations, is an example of algae. Pharmaceutical companies, algae extract used in medicines. Biofuels, research into algae as an example of a renewable resource. Biofuels are the fuel plants in which algae is used to measure that high amount of energy and it having the property of renewable resources. It's a good example of taking energy. Next slide is about algae and its role to climate change. What is algae's role to the climate change? Algae having carbon sequestration means it having the property to reduce that carbon amount in the environment. So algae can absorb CO2 and helping mitigate greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases like CO, NO, etc. These greenhouse gases were be decreased by the help of algae because they having a property to absorb CO2. The CO2 can be absorbed through the microfilaments. These type of microfilaments of algae, and these microfilaments can connect it to algae. Second is bioremediation. Algae can be used to clean wastewater and polluted environments. Most of the water treatment plants, the algae can be dissolved to the wastewater through which algae can help in cleaning the water. Next, the challenges and conservations of algae. Pollution, climate change, overharvesting of certain species. Algae like spirulina, algae like which are used as seaweeds are majorly harvested in the Asian region because in Asian they are used as a food Asian cuisine, so they want to be conserved at the Asian because they also having that reduced pollution, climate change and certain growths. What are the sustainable harvesting practices protecting marine ecosystems? The conclusions of algae. First of all, summary. And algae are diverse. Why? Because it present all over the world and ecologically very important by means of their ecological performance and activities, and valuable for various applications like food, science and tech, etc. Future is vote for algae. Increasing focus on algae in research like biofuel and environmental management is the great example to explore the algae as further, because the biofuel is a way through which algae can maximally design, and algae can a great amount solve the resolute the energy problem and environment management. Today's day, the climate change is one of the major problem in earth, and it all can easily be solved by algae management.